Good morning. It is Monday, October 12th, and I am off work today. I don't particularly care about this holiday. There's a whole lot I can get into, but I'm not, because that is not the point of this channel, and I am fairly certain that if you watch me, you probably already agree with me, so we don't need to go into that. But I will be happy for any days off it gives me. So yeah, it is Monday. It is 7:50 a.m. I've actually been awake for a little while now. I just haven't been filming, which is stupid because what I was doing was Preptober stuff. I've been kind of working on my character sheets for Heartlines, but I decided, you know, now I could start filming, I guess. I just felt better about, how I looked. Natural lighting is starting to come in, although it is a gray day, so it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of natural lighting, but you know, it is what it is. I have some tea. I showed it in the beginning. It's called like Jet Black, and oh my god, I'm having a brain fart. Oh my gosh, why can't I remember where it comes from? I will put it on the screen, but Jet Black is my favorite tea. It has espresso beans in it, so that's probably why. But I recommend it. You can get little tiny sample packs from the site, whatever this site is. Obviously I'm not sponsored, or else I would know the name of this company, but if you like tea, I do think you should check it out. I had never tried loose leaf tea until I found this site. August Uncommon, that's what they're called. The name was catchy to me, and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting, so you know, now I have a favorite tea from there. But yeah, so what are we doing today? That is too hot to drink. What am I doing? I guess I can show you a little bit of my character sheets if anyone is interested. It's all kind of, it's not necessarily boring stuff. It's definitely not boring for me. I'm having a lot of fun, but it's not stuff that makes for good watching, I don't think. Plus, I don't want to give it all away. Until I started my YouTube channel, I have been very private with my writing. Like, for example, if I have my writing journal open and my boyfriend comes in, like, out of instinct, just a weird animal primal instinct, I just immediately have to shut it because, you know, this is like raw, this is unfiltered, and it could be embarrassing if I think it's like stupid in the future. I don't know, so I'm just trying to really think if I want to show. What don't I want to show you? Maybe I'll leave it on Serena for now. So I am using Campfire. I am not going to talk a lot about like what you can do with Campfire and all the different things. I do have Campfire, I think it's called Pro, and the World Building Pack. I bought it all. And so there is a lot. I've talked a little bit about it, but you can also see Natalia Lee did a video on it. I think Kate Kavanaugh is now doing a video on it because they're sponsored. I'm not sponsored, so I'm not gonna, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but what's the point of me like explaining it when you could watch a sponsored person? I don't know. That probably doesn't make any sense, but you know, it is what it is. So if you watched my last video, I of course showed, you know, that I do face claims for my characters. This is Natalia Dyer from Stranger Things. She is my main character because my main character used to be Paz, but now that I have fleshed out Serena more, I feel like she's actually a good main character. Like, they're both main, but Serena is going to be the one who opens this story. So this is my character sheet. I made a default kind of one myself. This is what it looks like just up here. New character, short description, basic info, an image, backstory, physical attributes, personality traits, references. I've kept this kind of similar to the default that it gives you. I've just kind of moved things around the way that I want them set up. And excuse me, this box down at the bottom is just because I wanted a space thingy so that I could be able to scroll, because I really enjoy this program, but there are a lot of aspects that I don't find user-friendly at the moment, and I think it might just be the learning curve. Anyway, so this is Serena's profile, so to speak. I have my picture here. Under basic info, Serena James Tenley. James, because I decided to name her grandfather Jameson as kind of a callback to the Zero draft of Heartlines, and so I wanted her to also kind of be named after him. So Serena James. 17, she's female, she's a lesbian, and occupation, nun/trust fund baby, because like Paz, I am very resentful of rich kids. But, and then like over here, I don't actually have her backstory just yet, just a little note about what she drives. She drives a Lexus RX luxury SUV, and I had to include the color of the exterior because the name sold me. Now, I don't think beige is a nice color for a car, but when I was looking at the colors, this beige is called Moonbeam Beige Metallic. And the fact that it was called Moonbeam and she falls in love with a werewolf, I am super lame and I could not resist. So I just put this here so that I would remember. I should probably actually, I think I saved pictures. I should probably put them somewhere. I'm not sure where just yet. I haven't done physical attributes yet. Personality traits. I have given her and Paz so far 4 positive and 4 negative traits, and kind of just use the little like list function and the little blurb under a list item to kind of, I guess, flesh out, like rather than just saying she's charming, I put, you know, she has a good sense of humor, good listening skills, she's polite and respectful and has like confidence. And you know, that is all kind of in charming. Like, charming is a package deal, and these are all the things that come in that package, if that makes sense. And I do have to say, while I'm talking about character traits, I don't want to zoom out, but I have these books, the positive trait Thesaurus and the negative trait Thesaurus, and this really helped me with coming up with these traits because, like I mentioned, you know, you have packages. Like, I could have said that Serena was spoiled and leave it at that, but it felt better to say, where is it? I have instead said that she is stubborn, and under stubborn, she is spoiled and used to getting her way, and that like adds to her stubbornness. So I just think these books are really helpful for getting a good grip on your character traits and not just saying, oh, well, she's passionate, she's charming. You know, you can actually get to the root cause of why they are the way that they are. So I do recommend those books. I just had to say that very quick because this was the first time I actually got to use them, because for my Craven trilogy, my characters were already fully fleshed out. I did not need to look up character traits for them, if that makes sense. So then we have over here references, which is a really cool box in my opinion, because you can reference other characters. So let's say this box was empty, I would go to add, and it gives you all of the characters that you have created thus far. So then, you know, if you wanted to, you know, Jameson's already in there, but I'm going to click on him. I would want to add Jameson, and I would add 1 element. Or I could add Jameson and her parents all at once, add 3 elements, but they are already there, so I will not be doing that. But, you know, then you put who they are and their relation. So Jameson Tenley, Serena's grandfather on her mother's side. Her middle name comes from his name. That sounds stupid, but that's just, you know, how I remember it. But the cool thing about this box is then I could click on Jameson's name and it takes me to the profile I've created for him, which, as you can see, is still in the works. And I have picked Clancy Brown as the kind of face claim. If this were to ever be made into, you know, my dream movie, Clancy Brown would be the actor to portray Jameson. I've done that for, like, all of you see, let me open these folders. Do you see all of these characters, except for the one named new character? All of these? They all have their pictures, and that's kind of embarrassing to me, but, you know, this is how I do it, this is how I have fun. Like Paz's mom, her mom's best friend, you know, I like to pick actors to play my characters. It's just what I do, you know? It's, I don't know, I like to do it. I think I might leave it for now, or maybe I'll start working on physical attributes for Paz and Serena. Yeah, that might be what I work on. I'm probably only doing it because I have Campfire, so I need like an excuse to make character sheets, but I'm having a lot of fun, and I think that is the most important thing about NaNoWriMo, honestly. So yeah, that's how I feel. Gosh dang it. So this weekend, I decided to look into a new method of outlining. New to me, like when I say new, it's new to me. This method has been around. A lot of you have even mentioned it. It is the 27 chapter, 9 block, 3-act structure. And it was at least popularized by Katie-tastic, I assume is how the name is said. Because I feel like if it was Caddy-tastic, maybe it would have 2 T's. I'm just going to call her Katie-tastic. I've been watching a lot of her videos on like how she writes. How she drafts is awesome. Like, I'm not gonna Like, I might not do it myself for this story, but how she drafts just looks incredible. It looks like exactly what I need. Maybe I will do it for this draft, I don't know. But her videos explaining this 27 chapter 9 block structure were amazing to me this weekend. I had heard of it before but never looked into it because I was fairly happy with the way I outlined. And then I discovered like Save the Cat and I was happy with the beat sheet, but I've been having trouble with this outline. I have started and stopped, and nothing's really come of it. And honestly, I think a lot of it is that I was really like wanting to, for some reason, adhere to the original 0 draft when I can't, because that would just result in a story just as poorly fleshed out. Only I would have, you know, cut Jameson and just pasted Serena in, and that's not what I want. Serena stands on her own. She's already so different from Jameson, so I have to completely rework the story. But it's like I know there are certain parts and scenarios in that original draft that I do want to keep, so my brain is just having trouble letting go of all of it, because it's like, no, but if we keep this scene, we have to keep this scene, but that's not true. So I'm really struggling with that aspect. So for now, I have put the 0 draft away. I don't know where I put it. I've hidden it from myself so that I do not feel the need to keep referencing it. So yeah, I spent the weekend kind of researching and trying to understand her method of outlining. If you haven't checked her channel out, you really should. I really appreciate it. As a person who's very private myself with my writing, I really appreciate when other people share like step by step and they're really like open and candid about their projects. I really enjoyed that because it allowed me to really get a feel for this outline rather than just seeing the list of what, you know, inciting incident, you know, action, reaction, all that crap. Rather than just seeing a list, I was able to actually comprehend as an outline, and I really appreciate that, so you should definitely check her videos out. I will try to remember to link the main one that I'm talking about down below. So I did set up a Scrivener file for Heartline. Let me show you, since we're just showing everything on the computer. So I did set up this, and I set up all of the blocks, and I titled all of the documents as the chapters. This is just my notes file where I'm info dumping everything. That sound weird. Where I'm info dumping everything that I know so far that I don't want to forget. And I was really excited about some of these notes. On Saturday, me and my boyfriend were eating dinner and I just started like rambling about it, but because I was just so excited about some ideas that I came up with. And it's been a long time since I've gotten to feel this way about writing, because my Craven trilogy, as I've mentioned, I wrote it back to back to back, so then it was all finished. And it was all very concrete. Like, I had to get rid of like a romantic subplot that was like would have turned it into a love triangle, which I realized while writing I am not a fan of. So I did have to get rid of stuff like that, but for the most part the story itself was 100%, and you know, I didn't need to really change anything except making it better, if that makes sense. So I started that trilogy, gosh, I want to say 2017, maybe 2016, but definitely 2017 if not. So for at least 3 years I have been consumed by that trilogy. You know, I would stop and, you know, for months, like, you know, Camp Nano, when I stopped and worked on Project City Lights, which is on an indefinite hiatus. You know, I plan to come back to that one day. But, you know, I stopped for that, and then I went right back to Craven things, and then I stopped like last year's Nano for the original Heartlines, and then I went right back to Craven things. So I've been very much consumed by my Craven trilogy, and it's just really exciting to be able to not have to worry about anything right now and just play around, you know, and make these characters and come up with, you know, middle names that will probably never get used in the story. Like, it's just been very fun for me, and I like that, so I'm happy to share that with you. And I don't know where I was going with that.
Sometimes I'll start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way, like an improv conversation. Improvisation.
So I really don't know what I want to do today, if I want to kind of start working on a rough outline, or if I want to just do more character things. I haven't decided. I feel like I should probably start on the outline. I feel like that needs more attention and that character things can be filled in later. My tea is still really hot. I shouldn't be drinking it, but I want it. So I freaking said I was going to work on outlining and I went right into character stuff, so I'm just going to continue setting up these profiles a little bit. I'm not actually, only for Serena so far did I do like physical attributes, but I'm just going through and putting the placeholder text on the other sheets so that I know the correct order in exactly what I'm doing, because I am very, controlling about how I want things to look. It has to be very particular, it has to be done in a certain way, so I'm just going to go through now so that later when I feel like putting in, Rafe's physical attributes, I already know exactly what I'm doing there. I don't have to keep referencing other sheets. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Okay, so I went through and just added what I'm tracking so far, I guess, and that is, like, I'm adding them as list items. So, number 1, height and build, number 2, hair and eyes, number 3, facial features, and number 4, distinguishing features for things like scars and tattoos and stuff like that. So I just went through and kind of put all of those onto the panels needed, and I will fill those out as I go along. It's just little things that help, obviously I'm not going into extreme detail, just under like facial features for Serena, for example, sharp elfin features, pointy jaw and chin, she has a very sharp appearance. And then I wrote ears that stick out just a little too much. It's adorable because I want that to be something that Paz kind of notices and, I don't know, remembers. This is the stuff I love about writing. It's honestly, it's my favorite. It's my jam. So I'm going to, on camera, do Paz just for fun, and then maybe I'll get started on my outline now that I'll have my main ones, Paz. I'm letting myself have fun with these descriptions too. Like, under facial features for Paz, I wrote high cheekbones that could cut a man because, I'm trying to put a little more personality into this so that, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the time I do what I think I should versus what I want. So, for example, on my nano profile this year for my synopsis for Heartlines, I was kind of doing kind of a cheeky, just having fun with it, this isn't a real synopsis, so I'm gonna bullshit, I'm gonna have fun. And it was like in that moment I realized, why the F don't I do this with like all of my writing stuff? So now I'm just kind of being cheeky for fun. And I don't know, it makes it more enjoyable, and I think in the future when I look back on it, it'll be a nice reminder that I don't need to take everything so seriously, and also there is no one right way to write. So I think I might actually stop with character stuff now. I know I said that before, but I think I'm going to, oh, I got that video open, but I think I'm going to actually kind of maybe work on a rough outline. I'm going to put it all into one document for now, I think, and then kind of separate it as I go along. So we're going to start intro. And yeah. Hard. I think I need more detail, I guess, when I'm doing outlines. I need like step 1, step 2, step 3, whereas this outline seems very structured towards big picture things. But obviously I'm going to keep working at it. I just am going to not film it all because that's pretty boring. So yeah, I'll be back. Okay, so I've been working on this outline. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I feel like, for example, my inciting incident is not strong enough, but at the same time, this is going to be a duology. I do need this, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but on the one hand I feel like it's not strong enough, and on the other hand I feel like it's actually pretty perfect because I don't jump right into like the serious meat, because I need that for later. I need a little mystery beforehand, and I really like where I'm going with Serena's story, but Paz's story doesn't feel as strong, which is a little disappointing, but also very funny because in the original Heartlines, when the original Jameson was just kind of a blank slate, Paz's story was just, top tier, it had everything, and he was just a prop, and so now it's kind of funny that Paz's story is the lesser story, so I might have to change that. But, so I have written 841 words in this outline so far. I have outlined up to number 5, which is in block 2 of outline. Oh my god, why can't I talk today? Block 2 of act 1. I think I have a good story here, but I think I might be trying too hard to match these beats, and I shouldn't be worrying about that. I should be worrying about the story. So I'm trying to be a little more loosey-goosey with it, but also I'm very excited because Serena's story is so good. Serena, I am so pumped. And that's another problem too, is that obviously a lot of YA novels, especially, this was inspired by the stuff I read when I was in high school, and that was a long time ago. I am 31, so it has been a long time since I was browsing the shelves in my school library, but a lot of those stories were always just, like, one main character would have a point of view, and that typically, the girl character in this straight romance, and she would have to kind of discover the paranormal stuff on her own. So Serena's story is very much that story. She's a human, she has no idea about paranormal things, and she's left discovering that on her own, and not just because of Paz, but because of other elements in this story. And so now I'm questioning, oh no, should this just be one point of view and have it just be Serena's story through and through? But Paz's story is very important to me too. As a werewolf without a pack, she's looked down on by other werewolves, but also she lives in poverty, so she's looked down on by the rich people in this, that make up the majority of this city. So her story is very important to me as well. So I really don't want to do that, and initially I had considered, since I plan to make this a duology, book 1 be one character point of view and the other be the other character's point of view, but I don't think I want to do that either, because then it's like I'm saving everything in Paz's story for last when I need some of that stuff now. So I'm having a lot of trouble, and then a part of me is wondering if maybe I don't separate the point of view for the stories themselves, but maybe for the writing process. Like, would it be easier for me to just take Serena's half of the story and write it in a linear fashion, and then write Paz's half of the story in a linear fashion, and then weave it together? I'm fairly certain that's how George R.R. Martin actually writes his Song of Ice and Fire books, where if he's working on Daenerys' story, he'll write her chapters one after the other, and then work on, like, Arya's story, write her chapters, and then at the very end, he puts them together chronologically. I'm pretty sure I read that that's how he does that with his multiple characters, and these are only 2 characters, so it shouldn't be that difficult to do that, but I don't think I can. I think I need to have it in a straight and linear fashion. I think that's just who I am, unfortunately. So I got a lot of factors. And also, I'm getting hungry. It is 9:14. I've been up since about 5. Wow, it's not actually that long, but I'm hungry. The only thing is, I have cheesecake in the fridge. I didn't make it. I can't make cheesecake. I might be able to. I've never tried because I'm too scared. It's my favorite dessert and I don't want to ruin it, so I just buy it. So I have a little tiny cheesecake sampler platter in the fridge. But I also made brownies this weekend and they were pretty good. So I don't know what I want, because I probably shouldn't eat dessert for breakfast, but I am an adult and I think I'm going to do that. Because you know what? It's my day off. It's a beautiful rainy day. I am outlining and having a blast with it. Problems aside, questions and problems aside, why not have a piece of cheesecake? So I got 2 pieces, because look, they're little, okay? Don't judge me. I love cheesecake. Also, my boyfriend doesn't, and they're gonna go bad if I don't eat them, right? So that's what I tell myself. So yeah, I'm not struggling with this outline. I am just a little worried that I'm either trying too hard to follow it to a T or not following it at all. I think the reason I liked Save the Cat so much was because it had percentages where it would tell you, okay, so, I mean, obviously this one's a no-brainer, the midpoint happens at like 50% of the story, but, you know, it would give you like percentages of around about where this beat should fall and where that beat should happen. So I think that also is another thing I'm struggling with because I need instructions, unfortunately. I mean, I don't need instructions to write, obviously. I've outlined my own way for this long, and it worked for me, obviously. I have a trilogy. But when I'm trying new outlines and new ways to do things, it's like I need instructions or I have no idea what I'm doing. So that's been a little difficult. So I'm going to turn this camera off for now, because no one wants to see me eat. And I'm going to start working on chapter 6, which is the consequence beat in block 2 of Act 1. Yeah. Okay, so I didn't really do anything but eat my cheesecake, and I watched some YouTube, but then I had to get up and vacuum. I loaded the dishwasher, you know, I'm doing things I gotta do. But also, I'm going to be hanging out with my mom in about 20 minutes. I'm going to work on this outline until she gets here, but I'm not going to film it because I won't have, I guess, a proper outro. I will try and film like an actual outro later on to let you know how the outline has gone, maybe show you if I've done anything new with my character sheets, or just to say, okay, that's all folks, you know? Okay, so it is the next morning. I am showered for work, obviously. Gotta go back to the grind, and you know, yesterday was nice, but unfortunately, I'm an adult. So yeah, I just wanted to do like a proper outro just to kind of tell you what I did, I guess. So I made it to chapter 17, which is, or beat 17, I guess. It is the second to last in block 6 of Act 2, so I almost made it to Act 3 in my outline. And the story is kind of manifesting itself, if that makes sense. Like, there were a few times I had no idea where I was going, but fortunately my outline kind of took my hand and led me there, so that's pretty cool. It's not a perfect outline, you know, obviously, so when I finish it, I'll probably go through and fine-tune it before I, you know, do any more work on it. The problem is, because I'm splitting this into a duology, I have to decide what goes in book 1 and what has to wait for book 2, because it's going to involve the same characters, and book 1 is mostly about, I guess, setting up arcs and the few twists that I have. So it's interesting to plan for a duology. But yeah, so I just wanted to film that. Now I have to get all this footage uploaded and edit it when I can. I don't know when it'll be posted, but I will try to post it ASAP, obviously. And yeah, so proper outro. Tell me about what you're doing for Preptober, if you're doing anything. Are you an outliner, or do you do something else for Preptober? How do you outline? Have you tried this 27 chapter method outline? And do you have any tips on it? Because I really am struggling, because these beats, it's like I want to be too detailed, and these beats are actually like big picture beats, so I'm struggling. So if you have any tips on this outline, please leave them down below. But yeah, like and subscribe, all of that fun stuff. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.